Welcome to the second part of Lesson 6. We're going to continue working with images. This lesson will focus on showing you the importance of optimized images and basic image editing techniques. We're going to use GIMP to do some basic image editing. Then we'll use Riot to do our image optimizations. But first, we'll add some helpful tools to our web browser. With Firefox, we're going to want to install Firebug and Web Developer. Now we are ready to work on our images and see how optimized images affect our website. So we're going to install Firebug from Mozilla, and once you click install, it's going to say software installation. Install add-ons only from authors whom you trust, and we do, so we're going to click install now. It'll say Firebug has been installed successfully, and Web Developer will ask you to restart Firefox. So we're going to hit restart now. And we'll come back and we'll see this little tiny bug on the right hand corner. It'll say Firebug deactivated. So just to show it's working, we're going to go to our site, which I put over here. We're going to activate Firebug just to give an idea of what it does. So what we're going to do is look at net. And we're going to enable it. And we're going to reload this web page, and you're going to see a lot of things flashing by. So what do we see here? This one is showing you how long it took to load this page. And so there was 13 requests, and it took them all from the cache, so it loaded pretty fast. And we see each of the things it took to load. So we have two 404s. These are the images we worked on last week that are not supposed to be there, which should give us broken placeholders. And here we see what's occurring. Blocking, DNS lookup, connecting, sending, waiting, and receiving. So we're going to copy the URL I have up here. We're going to click File, New Private Window. And we're going to turn on Firebug again. And be under net. And we're going to paste this. So why do we open a private window? Private window does two things. Firefox says it keeps your browsing private. But another thing it does, it instantly gives you a fresh web browser. So there's nothing cached. So when we go to this URL, it's going to download everything fresh. And that's going to help us determine speed. So nothing's going to be coming from the cache. So we see the web page loaded first, now the images are coming up. So now let's work on some images. So I have GIMP open here. And so we're going to go File, Open, and we're going to look for an image to modify. Let's see. This one looks pretty good. So we're going to modify this image. And actually, I just want this logo here. So I'm going to click over here where it says Rectangular Select Tool. And I'm going to select it. I don't want to change the original image, so I'm just going to copy this. Copy. Then I'm going to create a new file. And it's going to ask you what size do you want. This size is going to be fine for now. Push OK. I'm going to paste it in here. Now this image, this white part, is too big compared to what I just copied. It's no problem. We're going to click on Image, and we're going to do Auto Crop Image. And the description says remove empty borders from the image. Press that. Now the image has changed to the size 492 by 246. That's what I selected and what we pasted in here. Now let's do some. Now that we have the logo, we can do some modifications. We can further. Oops. Oh, I'm already in the selection tool. want to show you the other things you can do. We're going to flatten the image so that's no longer layers. And I'm going to change some colors. So let's go to color balance. And so let's say if we want it to be a little bit more red, so we want to change the blues, the cyan type colors, to more reddish. So we start increasing it and we watch the effect. Looks a little bit more red here. Now let's say we want to change the blues to a little bit more yellow. And that's the midtones. Now say we want the shadows. This is the darkest colors. The darkest tones. So now it looks more red. So that's one way to adjust colors in images. Another thing we can do is we can add some. We can use some filters. So light and shadow, we can add a lens flare. This comes up and gives you a preview what it will look like. If you wanted a lens flare, let's say right over here in the upper right hand corner, it asks you where's the center. That's the X and Y positions. As you can see, if we move this down here, these changes. And we'll press OK. And we just added a nice little lens flare to this image. We can also do a blur, and it's going to become blurry. See? It became a little bit blurry. I'm going to undo that. And there's a lot of other things here. You can even make it look like a photocopy, black and white photocopy, and that's how that will look. And we're going to save this photocopy. Let's save as, actually, wait, so I'm going to use it on our web page, so we're going to go File, Export, Class, File Family, Images, and now I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to pick JPEG. So I'm going to call this one Photocopy JPEG. Photocopy.jpg. Export. Word quality 90% is just fine because we're gonna use Riot to optimize images. Now let's go over to NetBeans and we're gonna add this image to the page. We're gonna add it at the bottom. Create an article. Source. Cool. Images. And photo. Photocopy. JPEG. Oh, I didn't put an images folder. Okay, let's run that and see how it looks. There it is. Now, let's take a look in our local. Oops, there it is. Let's activate Firebug. Go to Net and reload the page and see how long it took everything to load. Want to click all, make sure, so see how long it took to load all the elements. So we see here it took about not too long to load these things up. This picture here took the longest. The background, 25 milliseconds. And it tells you what was it. The content length was 171,578 bytes. Image JPEG. And where it was. So I'm going to close this, minimize this here. This now. So overall this page took 663 milliseconds to load. And this is just loading from So now it's down to 1 because now it's cached. So now we're going to optimize the images here. So we're going to open up Riot. And this time, I saved an original so that I have all the original image sizes, but since we made a modification, or actually we created a new image, I'm going to copy that one. Just so I have the original image size, original file. So we're going to go to WowFan, we're going to click Images, and this time I'm going to go over here, click Batch, and it's ask me to add the images. Add the images. Images. Select all. Push open. And I'm just going to hit start. Oh, specify output for. Okay. Optimize. Right, now let's take a look at that folder. Looks like it only optimized these images. So we're going to copy these optimized images and replace the ones here. And now we will see that the new file sizes are much smaller. So 165 versus 199, 131 versus 167, 101 versus, so it's about 30%. This wasn't stayed the same, too small to stay the same. This one's about half the size, 37 versus 14. Same as this one. Wow, this one became much smaller. So this one became 9.8 kilobytes, and this, the original is 30. And I'm going to, that's enough of that. We're going to copy replace all of them. And now when we reload the page, it should be much faster. The overall page size has been reduced. The images look pretty much the same. And so with this tool, Firebug, we saw how long it took to load all these. All these became much smaller. And to show that, we're going to put all the original images back. Okay. And we'll reload once more. See how these numbers are bigger, and the overall page size became larger. So it's important to optimize your images so that their images and videos are generally the biggest content that can cause a page to slowly load. When your image is optimized, it loads the pages faster, there's less to download, there's less bandwidth. Especially for phones and mobile users. Sometimes they have like a data cap on the phone, so you really want to get these images as small as you can while still looking good. And we used Riot to make the images optimized. Now going back to GIMP, let's say I still have this highlighted, so I'm going to copy that again, create another image, and here we're going to go to Image, Auto Crop. Let's see the file size change to this, and this time I'm just going to save it as is. Export. JPEG. Logo. And I'm going to add that to the page. Add it to the top. Alt text. So I've added another image. Play. And we'll take a look at that. And there's the logo we created. We added some text there. Probably put that in there inside an article to make it look a little bit nicer. And so, okay, there we go. It's a little bit too big, so we can edit that. Or we can, remember from last working with images, we can change the width. Here, it doesn't change the file size, it just changes the width. Let's say we just wanted it to be 300. Let's take a look. Now it fits within this frame. If we go back to Riot, and we're going to see how that optimizes. Let's drag it over here. Let's see. So the original image is about 70 kilobytes, and it says it can optimize it to 35 kilobytes. We're going to just hit save, and we've got a more optimized image. Close this. Reload again. See it reloads a little bit faster. I'll close this and open up a new private window. And remember, opening a private window gives you a fresh cache. Everything's fresh, so it's going to download everything again. Take a look at that. So we can see the biggest thing on the page is the background. Okay, so we've optimized images. We've used Firebug to see how long it takes to load components on our website. So just not just images. So be images. Like here, we've clicked this one. This is just images. This is how long it took to load different HTML. How long it took to load CSS, if any JavaScript. This is later for jQuery, where we learned jQuery cross-site loading of things, media. If your website had any fonts, we usually just take like a good overview, which is all. And here you have clear and persist. So clear, you just clears the whole panel. Now if you click persist, you reload the page, it's going to put all the data we had before. Oh, this is from the live website at htmlclass.azurewebsites.net. We can see how long it takes to load from the web. So this is showing it. We're doing a lot of waiting before receiving. Now, and if I hit reload again, because I have persist on, it should have saved that data. Oh, it did. So this is the one from before, and this is the current request. So I push the plus sign here. You can see there's the old request, and here's the new one. So what a difference. The original request took 2.45 seconds, and the new request, probably because it's cached, now only takes 770 milliseconds. I'm going to close Firebug here. I'm going to attempt... Actually, I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept that open. Yeah, good, I have persist on. So we can see each of the loadings. Now, I'm going to attempt to replace those images with the ones we just updated here. So we have the new images, index.html, and we're just going to upload those to the website. And so right now I'm using Smart FTP. I've created this website. I have the live website here. Oh, not that one. So we're replacing the files on the live site, htmlclass.azurewebsites.net, lesson 6, with the ones we just modified on our machine here. With more details, we can see how long it's taking to transfer these 58 files. It's going to ask us again, do you want to merge? Okay. What we got down here? It's copying all the files you see here. It'll take a few moments to upload all the files. Then once they're all uploaded, we're going to test the speed again to see how the optimized images compare to the original ones. Now that the files have all uploaded, we'll go check out the live site. I'm going to hit refresh now, and let's see what happens. So we see our new web page with we should see the new images we added, and we see that now the longest one is background 2, took 9 seconds to load. And it's only 1 KB from cache. So I'm going to do this one again. Actually, we can compare. So this took, let's see, 10.42 seconds. The one right before it, which should have been a cached page. So I'm not showing the total anymore, but let's see. How long did everything take? Ah, there we go. So you can see here, here's the total time. The first time with our unoptimized site, things took pretty long. And then with the cached version, cache means that the web browser, here Firefox, saved these files locally. And so it loaded up a little bit quicker. And now with our optimized images, you can see a dramatic difference.